The Action Film Challenge.
Yeah.
Action Film Challenge.
You did that. That was cool. That was just recent, actually.
This was a couple years ago for this one, but yeah.
You know, if you said you were sweating your ass off, if you would have been a southern fishing vampire, you'd have had a Columbia shirt on. You wouldn't have been sweating.
You're right. That's a very good point because I would have had the air holes in the back, right? I would have been able to flow.
If I'm quite correct, the lovely Trina Fallon, who did the article on us when we first started our show, she just did the Action Film Challenge, and they won top spot, if I'm quite correct. Don't quote me on that, but they did just win top honor of one of the movie festivals.
The multi-talented Trina Fallon, who wrote a very generous write-up.
Yeah, we did the interview at her house, right?
We did it at her house.
Did you guys ever see that? I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was brilliantly done. The write-up that she composed about it.
Met us at O'Toole's that night, and we gave her the what for.
Very flattering.
You
better rephrase that.
Let me rephrase that. We gave her the info she needed, in other words.
But, while we're talking about people being busted, why don't we talk about a man named Busta? Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes in the news, and not because he now should be a candidate for a Jenny Craig commercial. I don't know if you've seen him, but
damn,
Busta is busting out at the seams nowadays.
That's his new name, Busta Seams.
He's gotten quite portly over the years, but
busted chair.
Authorities say that
woo-ha, you all in check.
Authorities say that 43-year-old Busta Rhymes was arrested at 8:30 this past Wednesday for chucking a strawberry-flavored protein drink at a dude's face. Now, this wasn't a milkshake with meth. This is just a regular protein shake.
Wow. Seems very unmanly to throw a shake at a guy's face. First of all, guys don't really throw, drinks on each other, do they? I thought that was a chick thing.
That limp arm thing? Where
you're like, oh, you need to stop. Kind of like that. Is that what he said when he did it?
What was your boy that one time?
You need to change. You got to grab a handful of pennies and throw them at people and be like, you need to change your attitude.
I'm going to ice him. Say it one more time.
You need to change your attitude.
Oh, boo.
I didn't know we were going for both cuts.
I'll take the
Figure
other
it out, dude. Cut it up, man. Get it on the floor.
I teased this before the commercial break. A man arrested for giving a child a wet willy. There was a 34-year-old man.
What is that in North Korea?
Wet willy.
Rat Riri.
A 34-year-old man arrested for giving a random 4-year-old a wet willy. And look at this photo. You can tell he's crying. He's got snot running down his nose in this mugshot.
The 4-year-old or the man?
The man.
Oh.
A Connecticut man facing charges of reckless endangerment is what the charge was after he gave a wet willy to a 4-year-old boy. This incident happened in a waiting room of an unnamed business where the boy sat playing with his mother. Now, this is when police said that apparently Michael Magani, he stuck his finger in his mouth and stuck it in the toddler's ear, and then when the mother and the staff confronted them, he ran and fled in a vehicle that was later apprehended.
Now, go ahead.
I gotta compose my thoughts for a second. Go ahead.
Now,
this is a little
Ben,
weird.
when you go, all right, you're this guy. Picture yourself as that guy.
Okay.
What would you tell the cops?
This toddler, he was clearly dehydrated, and nothing can rejuvenate a child, according to Dr. Spock, like wetting my finger and then moistening his ear. I was only trying to help him.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate your statement.
It was a sticky situation that didn't work out well.
You know what I would have told the cops? I would have been like, man, I haven't eaten in 3 days, and I saw a Cheerio in there, dude. I was going for it, man. I was like, it looked like a Cheerio, maybe a Fruit Loop. I couldn't tell, but I was hungry.
All the Fruit Loops are the same flavor, believe it or not.
I know.
Isn't that messy? That sucks. It makes me really
They taste
sad.
like Apple Jacks.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. All right.
Well,
so moving along from the perv who wants to wet willy kids in there, that's some weird crap, dude.
That is kind of weird.
I mean, somebody really needs to take that guy away because if you couldn't resist, I mean, even if you had the urge, it's weird enough, right? Okay, now you're sitting there and you're like, God, I want to put my wet finger in this kid's ear. That's a little weird, right?
I got a feeling that as a result of this infraction, that there might be something wet put in one of his orifices.
Yeah, he's going to get wet willies throughout prison.
It's probably not going to be wet, but like even with the kid screaming and yelling, there's the circumstances. You got a kid in there acting the fool, screaming, being the dumbass. But then again, if he was in the emergency room, he could have been injured and screaming.
Well, no, this was a waiting room of a business. It wasn't.
I
even
thought you said.
Yeah,
ER.
but
okay, sorry.
They didn't say the kid was like making an ass of himself. I think the guy's just a freak.
Yeah, sounds like it.
You were talking.
He needs some God in his life.
You were talking earlier, Joe. You were talking about the fact that circumstances are sometimes mandated. Well, in this situation, with another police blotter story here, a rather unique punishment from a judge, and I would say this is a far worse punishment than the typical criminal recourses that you see. An East Texas couple says that their choice to marry was taken away by a criminal court judge. Now, this was in Smith County in July. A judge sentenced Justin Bundy to get married to his 19-year-old girlfriend as part of his probation, which also included writing Bible verses and getting counseling. Now, the court case stemmed...
Wow, that's like church and state just like wrapping themselves up in a huge, nice fucking bow.
Now, the court case stemmed from a February altercation. This was between Bundy and the ex-boyfriend of his girlfriend, Elizabeth Janes. According to Bundy, this is his quote, the ex-boyfriend had been saying disrespectful things about Elizabeth, so I challenged him to a fight. Yeah. He stepped in, and I felt like it was on, and I hit him in the jaw twice. Now, he said the ex-boyfriend did not require medical attention, but he did press assault charges. Again, he's quoted as saying, I took matters into my own hands, and I know that's wrong. I know I was raised better, but it happened. Now, the judge, Randall Rogers, asked him about the fight, asked him if she was worth it. When he said yes, and I would have done the same thing for my own sisters, he said flat out to the guy, as part of your probation, you're going to have to marry her within 30 days. And he told Bundy that if he declined to do the probation, he would be sentenced to 15 days in jail.
Well, I'm taking a jail time. More than 15 years. Hell,
right,
dude. Are you kidding me, dude?
But now, you keep saying Bundy. Is this like King Kong
or Ted?
Ted Bundy?
No,
Justin.
Al Bundy.
Justin. But let me ask you:
with okay.
Can he legally do that? I mean, I thought there was like parameters. I've seen these things where judges make kids sit on the street with signs that said "I've stolen stuff."
I mean, it's a viable option.
No, it's not. You can't force someone to marry somebody.
You can't force. No. He gave him the option.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "You have your choice: 15 days in jail or marry this."
So you don't think he believed the kid actually loved her? Is that what he was trying to say? Yo, you don't really love her, kind of thing. Like,
well, wasn't he
like you just wanted to crack that kid in the head?
Wasn't he sticking up for her?
He was.
That's what he's saying, but that was his story anyway.
But he and then he assaulted somebody.
Because it's her ex-boyfriend.
Okay, he assaulted. So he wanted him to, show your love for this woman. You love her, obvious, to stick up and fight some dude for her. Marry her or spend a couple days in jail, which I kind of have to give you anyway.
Now, when he was put in this situation, the guy actually said that he initially said he would elect to take the jail time, provided he could call his job and let them know so he didn't lose his job. And the judge told him, no, that's not part of the deal. You're going straight to jail if you say no.
Now, that's BS. You have to be able
to... Wait. This sounds like some kind of weird game that
sounds like TV court.
What state was this? It's got to be
Judge
the South.
Alex right here?
This was in Texas.
Oh, I knew it was the South. It had to be the South.
They've sentenced people directly from court, though. And
I know that, but you have to be able to tell your job that you're not going to be able to come to work. I mean, that's...
No, but you can make... No, you're not necessarily. But you're going to be able to, once you get processed through, you're going to be able to make a phone call probably within, 5 hours of getting there.
Yeah.
You're going to end up in a cell somewhere. They're not going to keep you, crazy.
They don't have to let you call anybody at that point because you're already arrested. Once you're arrested...
Right.
They may let you out on bail, but you're still under arrest, so you're under their custody.
Right, you were allowed to make a phone call at the beginning prior to your arrest or right after your arrest for a lawyer or whatever, exactly.
Once you're remanded into custody and everything's all right,
I'll give you that. At the end of the sentence, sometimes they say, they'll sentence you, but you don't have to show up to jail for a certain amount of time.
Hey, so maybe we should tell his employers.
I don't think you necessarily need to pull the trigger in the first. But I would say sometime in the second.
Oh, he's going to get 15 days in jail, in a community jail. Somebody's going to want to pop it.
Does it say what he chose?
No, it doesn't. I don't quite see that here.
We're going to need to follow up on that one somewhere along the line. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me double check there while you guys talk more about it because, obviously the guy was sticking up for him. He gave him the option. You could marry this girl that you stuck
that's stupid.
Up for.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but judges, when they're trying to give you a little bit of leniency, they'll actually kind of, they'll give you an odd option. I've seen... That's
Miguel, this isn't let's make a deal. It's not like, do you want what's behind door number one, marry the girl, or go to 3 days in jail?
I saw a story recently where a girl, she was, 18, 19 years old, took a 30-mile cab ride. And when she got there, she told the guy, I don't have any money. And he called the police, and then the judge said, you either take jail time or you will walk 30 miles within 3 days.
That's not that bad. She must have been a big woman, though, maybe.
Okay, so what it says here is afraid of losing his job and spending 2 weeks behind bars, they applied for their marriage license to schedule a date with the justice of the peace to get married. And that is the final bit on the last... it's just like the whole thing goes with the article. It's like, are you kidding me? Who's this freaking lawyer? They should be disbarred for taking this deal. Blah 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 blah. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, you could read the article.
Was that his first offense?
Oh, there's Mia right there. Look at this. Look right there.
Yep.
Wow, look at those cans. Oh, sorry. Anyways,
who's that?
Mia Khalifa. Woo.
Who's that?
I can't really turn it.
Are we talking about Mia Khalifa?
Yeah, right here. Look at those. Look at those movies.
She popped up on the bottom of the story he was reading.
God bless her. God bless her.
Is she a rapper?
Hey.
Is she like Wiz Khalifa?
Shukran F1.
No, she's
I gave her a little Arabic about her boobies.
Oh, okay.
Now, while I ran off to go use the bathroom, did you guys ever get into the Granny Ripper story? Or
no, we didn't. We were actually wrapping up and trying to figure out what the couple decided.
We were actually
to do.
trying to make it seem like you were still here and you didn't go to the bathroom. We were trying to cover for you.
I was doing your imitation of you for a while. I was like,
Russian.
I'm just kidding.
Russian.
Hey, I played hockey.
I can do the splits for beers.
Really?
68-year-old Russian woman.
Comic books.
I do the splits for shots, not beers.
Big difference.
Where's Servy at, dude? He's going to add something in here. 68-year-old Russian woman accused of beheading multiple people and also possibly have eaten parts of her victims. Tamara Samsonova. Ooh.
See, I've always wondered why people think that's odd that they eat their victims, because, you got to get tired. You're going to definitely burn some calories hacking people up.
Did you ever watch the Gulag?
Chopping wood or something.
The Russian Gulag documentary about being in the Russian prisons?
Yes.
Dude, they don't fuck around.
They make you bend over whenever you walk.
They pull your arms back
crazy.
and they bend you up and they put you in the most uncomfortable position because you can't. Once you're in that position, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, there's no fighting.
You're not moving. It's a very, very helpless position that they put you in, walking you to and fro places. But this old lady, let's see here. They found a severed head of 79-year-old Valentia Ulanova.
Bless you.
Everybody's named Nova in this town apparently, in a pond near St. Petersburg. So this lady apparently, there's horrifying evidence that suggests she had multiples, ripping them apart for 20 victims for 20 years.
Oh wow.
Wow.
There's a lot of crazy Russian people. Have you seen? There's been a lot of serial killers in Russia, and they say, I was watching this thing. I think it came out right after that thing you were talking about, and they say that because of the communism and the whole thing about not being able to excel, in life and never being able to really get above anything and trying to tote the party lines and stay you're not allowed to be an individual. It drives people crazy and they kill them.
Russian culture, by its very nature, tends to be very dark. When you hear about their history, when you hear about even their folklore, it always tends to have a very dark twist to it. Let's face it. With their behavior,
look
often,
at the way they talk. They're very dour people. They don't really have a lot of emotion.
Just what I was going to say. They have a very dour demeanor.
When it's cold for 8 months a year, it sucks.
When they take photos, they don't smile.
Actually, Putin's got a great smile.
Well, he smiles so much because of how virile and amazing he is.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole culture supports that. But this reminds me, there was a Russian story. You guys remember the old man that used to find children in the Gorky Park area and murder them and then make them in soup?
Yes.
He used to eat them in a soup.
Well, it's a good way to get rid of them.
So this is, once again, another octogenarian, or however old she was, which is 70s or 80s, you said?
Yeah, but she's been doing it for years.
69.
She's been doing it for years.
She would eat them
20
with
years.
fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Really? Well, but think about it. From what I understand, they got bread lines over there, and you got to wait in the line to get some food. So maybe you just said, "The hell with it, I'm going to kill a kid."
I mean, for a 69-year-old, the whole eating thing seems awfully one-sided.
Yeah, but she's also been doing this for 20 years.
See what I did there?
I thank you.
Yeah, I got that. I did. But I'm just wondering how she actually got through it with her false teeth. You know what I mean?
She didn't know she had real teeth.
She did.
Yeah, they were there.
Okay.
I read that somewhere.
I'm just saying,
Maybe she made a nice roast out of them, so they got all
roasted, tender. Yeah. She. All right, this is disgusting, man. Why you want to eat people, man? There's better stuff to eat. I guarantee it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even like lamb.
Why would you eat people when
Like,
you could skeet people with some webbing?
I don't know where this is going, dude.
I don't either.
Pull up your article, bend it.